Turn on the torch, light up the flame, time to melt some glass, my friends. There you are, here I am, to explain, to teach, and create again. Hello. I know you can see my reflection. Hi. So, now, today, I'm going to be doing some glass blowing pendants. Some skull pendants out of glass. And here is the, hold on, when you want something right, I didn't screw it up, but I'll show you what I've been doing. Here is what I have been doing. Let me zoom in a little bit, just a little bit. There we go. This is what I have been doing, and I'm going to do another one. Hello, glad to see somebody showed up. And this is the other style that I've been doing as well. Believe it or not, same skull impression. But because this one has so much glass and magnification in front of it, it looks bigger. But to show you, they're about the same size on the back side. Hey, Brandon. So, here we go. And here is the, this came on a handle, but the handle broke. And they come, you know, manufactured, I think, by a router or whatever. But what I've been doing is slowly but surely sort of moving things around and making sure it's more not just off the shelf skull, but my skull. Matter of fact, even has my initials, LL, which looks like a lightning strike thing going on, but that's what that's all about. And matter of fact, you can see that in this one up there on the forehead. So that's one of the ways of my signature on this piece. So, without further ado, that's not what I'm looking for a certain size piece of tubing or rod that I could use real quick. This will work. Of course, it's not going to be the right size at the right moment, but we'll get there. And we're going to get the torch lit very shortly. That should work it. I need that, so I've been pressing it as I press it into the glass, it sort of tends to press backwards, and I need it to stay at one spot at one time, so that'll give me back pressure to hold it into place. See, it's a holder that I created because the other one broke. But let's get going from there. Right. Let's go for it. Let's try this one. This'll do. And light this fire and kick some tires. I just watched that movie yesterday, Independence Day. Might help if I turn on the oxygen. There we go. Now that's the fire. So yep, we're going to make some skull pendants. At least 2 of them. One cubed and one round, why not? If you have any questions, you can talk to me while I work. Oh, we're going to use, there's some schmutz on the end of this thing, so I'm going to bring it out into a stringer that I'll use later for support or smaller pieces of figurines or whatever. Just like so. And that's done. There we go. Now, first thing, I'm going to gather enough glass for the pendant. And the way I'm going to do this is basically I'm going to round it into itself, sort of like a coil. You heat it up on one side more than the other, and you just keep doing that, and it'll round right into itself. Let gravity work for you. You got to make sure as you're doing that it's sort of flowing into it and not becoming two pieces of glass stuck together. But that's another story. Right. It's just a matter of patience and time. Yes, you could make a big smashed Maria or do two rods together and smash it like that. But if you got the time, learn to play and practice at the same time. Learn what you can do with different size rods. Okay, that's probably about a good size for what I want. I'm gonna hold a punty at the bottom here so it melts in a little better. Oh yeah, that's looking real good. And it's big enough to do the job. Yep. Doesn't look like much, but it certainly will be. This is going to be one of the round ones. I'll do one of each. Needs to have another little bit nipped off of this baby. Hold on there. That ought to do her. Yeah, that'll do. Now, the idea is to get one side really hot without trying to disturb the other. And this will help you to make a good impression when you press the graphite into it. Ready, set, go. There we go. I think that worked out real good. We shall see. Now we'll sort of heat up and make sure it's nice and rounded on the other side to help magnify it. And the paste to resistance, to make it show up a whole lot more with detail, is to paste to resistance. Pièce de résistance. Excuse me. I was using my North Carolina French accent. Oh yeah. That is fabulous. Got a lot of detail. Doing what it needed to do. Now, take off the outer oxygen. Yep, this has got the silver on it. That little spot right there, you can see it. And now I'm only going to spray or fume just the back side where the skull is. Oh yeah. There we go. come on. Shows a lot of detail. Shows a lot of detail. Let's see if we can fume it just a little bit more than that. There we go. Now. Oh yeah. Got plenty of fume there. Just gotta excite it a little bit. And now all I'm gonna do is hold it on a puntey at the bottom and make a loop here at the top. Put that in the oven. Oh yeah. Switch sides here. I'm going to do the question mark bail or loop or whatever you want to call it. The question mark loop is where I come out, make something like a question mark. As you can see it. Oh! And then just heat it up down here at the base and let it bend into itself. Yep. And with that, wouldn't hurt to have a reamer. Tweezers. Of course it's not going to tap off easy. I put it on there better than I thought. There it went. Good. Back and forth. Fire polish that little nib. Don't want any sharp edges. And you got one skull pendant. Looking good if you ask me. Hello, good to see we got a few people watching. Now we're going to do a cubed skull, just like I just did the other one. Hold on a second. Oh, great. Everything all at once, guys. Hold on. I know who it is. Hi, Mike. What's up? Okay. Sounds good. Probably about another half hour, 45 minutes. Later, bye. Okay. My friend Mike. We all have those days. Thanks, Brandon. Now, we're going to go and do the same thing. This time we're going to make it into a cube. And with the cube, you need a little bit more glass, believe it or not. Again, this is what it looks like in a cube. And this is what it looks like in a round. Same skull. To give you the ideas, look, the impression is comparable in size. It's just that the glass in front of it either magnifies or just transmits. And this one magnifies and that one transmits. Just to give you something to think about. Right. So this time we're going to do a little bit more glass. Looks like we can make another little punte because that one got a little cracked and chunked while I was trying to explain things. Okay. It's a little harder to make a cube as well. To make a round is really, really easy, believe it or not. But to make it into a cube, I'm also going to try to encase it after the fact as well. That might be interesting, but we'll see. Same idea that I did before. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to press it in this time. A little bit different way of doing it. You heat and press. And it's a matter of melting and pushing at the same time to gather more glass. And yes, if you had a 10 millimeter rod, 10 millimeter diameter rod or bigger, but sometimes you got to deal with the rod that you have in hand, and you got to make adjustments. I want you to see that you can do such. I'm going to keep pushing. Probably about another little bit at least. Just one little more. Just a little bit more. And then we'll start making a cube, which is going to be fun. You'll see that as well. That's enough. Although that's going to be a little warm on my fingers. What I'm going to do, put this on a longer punte. Why? Because I can. Why not? No, not that one. This one will work. Better to save the fingers. Okay. Hey, Samantha. Going to be making a skull, a cube skull pendant. Real quick here. Heat it all up in this little blob. You can slow it down, it'll help it make it more round. Smooth out all the edges. But I'm going to be flattening it anyway, so it's not going to be making much difference whether it's smooth or not. Like so. Press. 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 And you sort of do it on four sides so that you get the angle going. Get the angle going right. See, it's not exactly formal right now, but it will be. See, it's just a matter of keep pressing. Now you got more or less a nice cube going on. Flatten out the bottom. Yeah. Yep. Looking good, looking good. That'd be pretty cool to make it into a triangle or something, or just a different shape. But a cube is what I'm working on at the moment. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and add a puente to the top, which this is going to be the top, and formalize the bottom. Got it? Get it? Good. I'm going to add a little bit more to the bottom. Not a lot, just a little. Why? Because I can. That'll do it right about there. Fun part is making sure that when you press in the skull image, that you do it more towards the center, and not the... Making a round is easy. Making a cube is a little harder. As you can see. Almost there. I got things in my way, dang it. Nudged it a little bit in the wrong direction, but we'll get there. Oh yeah, looking good, looking good. Oh yeah. Not perfect, but doable. Right? Right. I like it. I try to leave some imperfections in my glass. That way you know it's not manufactured. That's just my preference. To let you know that we are imperfect people. Although they need us to be in a perfect world, right? Living in a perfect world. Okay. I'm going to sharpen that flame a little bit more to try to really melt the glass on this one side. Just the one side. Get it really, really molten and pliable. And get it ready and press. There we go. I always do it a little off to the side. I guess that's my life in general, is a little off to the side. But it does the job. I guess about another 300 or 400 of them and I'll know what I'm doing, right? I guess I could round off these edges and add more glass to this one side. Just show it off a little better. Let's do that just a little bit. In other words, if you can't get it where you need it, manipulate it to where you want it. Yeah, that puts it more towards the center. Yeah, that's the ticket. Oh yeah, I can live with that. Let's off to that one side. Oh yeah, purdy, purdy, purdy. Add a little bit more to the corners here. What I'm doing is maybe even put a base on it type deal so that if you're not wearing it, you could just set it down somewhere. Almost there. Yeah. Let's manipulate it more in the fire. Not trying to make it perfect, but still trying to give it more edge. I'll play with it for a little bit. Now, one thing I forgot to do, which I haven't really forgotten, just haven't done it yet. Time to fume the backside. Like so. A little bit less oxygen. You know, a little more of a bushy flame. Right there on that piece of glass, there's a little bit of silver. I told you that before, but it never hurts to repeat yourself. Oh, that one really fumed. That really got me fuming. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna take a little bit of the fume off the edges here and just leave it on the back side. And I'm burning that off. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, and it's probably going to, if I do this right, it's going to look great. If I don't do this right, not so great, but we'll do it anyway. I'm going to get this glass really, really, really hot and press it into the skull mold so it's more encased than just sticking out the back end. Right? Right. Might do this in sections. Like so. Yeah, I like this idea. What I'm doing is pressing that hot glass without trying to distort the image or impression of the skull. You're just adding all that hot glass on top of it all. And yes, it's a little cagey, but it's the way you got to do it to get the image right. Now just a matter of keeping it square. Might help. Yeah. I'm flattening it a little bit more. See how that turned out later. I'm pressing it out a little bit as well, so it might distort the skull image a little bit. but doable. This is something that you can think about doing in some of your work. More of a ghostly skull than a skull. It's still doable. Anyway, now make the loop at the cup. Here we go, loop-de-loo. Here we go, loop-de-lie. Cold seal. Work the top. Oh, let's switch it. Switch. If you're interested in any of these, just give me a holler. We'll see what we can do. Right. Done that a few times, as you can tell. Again, I'm giving you directions to go and things to do. They're not perfect. Never said I was the best glass blower in the world. Come on. Yeah, the detail is, you have to see it. It's still there. Maybe we'll see. Let me go ahead and put that together. But here's what the objective. Something like this one. And here's the round one that I did earlier. No, that's not the one I did earlier, but that's one I've done before. The skull impression runs about, I think around 40 or 50, I'm not sure, something like that. Again, I then turned around and added my own detail and scratched in a few more scratches, and so it's not the off-the-shelf skull impression. It's mine. Well, mostly mine. Well, it is mine because I bought it. Anyway, thanks for being out there, guys. I have a luncheon appointment with a friend. So, and yeah, you heard the phone call in the middle of it. So, until then, thanks for being there. And as always, carpe vitro. And enjoy your day. It's the little things that make it worth a little bit more.